Hi, so my name is Stephanie and I facilitate the group with the young people. So the Tulsa Youth Advisory Committee has been around since 2016. It was funded through the Tulsa Seed Funding and it's supported in Mayo by Freuga. So this current group of young people who are here today, most of them are here today, have been involved for about the last 10 months. So they're quite new and this is probably their first big event and their first time presenting at a conference. So the group have worked really hard over the past number of months in preparation for today, and I'd like to take an opportunity just to thank them for all their hard work. There's been a lot of late evenings, a lot of Saturdays, and a lot of WhatsApp groups, I think, going on in preparation. And I suppose the other thing that's really important for this group is the collaboration between Tulsa, Freuga and the UNESCO Child and Family Research Centre has enabled these young people to represent their peers and to have their voice heard. So it's enough from me. I'd like to introduce Emma and Emmanuel, who are going to share their findings on behalf of the group.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Emma.
And I'm Emmanuel.
And we're here today from the Mayo Youth Advisory Committee. Today we're going to be speaking and presenting on the findings of a recent piece of research we conducted on anxiety in teens in correlation to social media. I'll start off with a little bit about us. The Mayo Youth Advisory Committee is a group of members, 13 members from all over Mayo, formed as a joint project between Freuga and Tulsa. We work on projects around youth participation in Tulsa services and Tulsa funded. To prep for this piece of research, we had an overnight meeting and received several hours of youth research training with Dr. Kira Boylan. Other than carrying out youth research, like you'll be seeing from us today, we review and decide if buildings and layouts are youth-friendly, as well as review leaflets and posters for Tulsa and Tulsa services. In the past, we have had our own youth-run conference for adults, and we have also developed a poster with 8 key pointers for adults working with young people. What you will see today is our latest piece of research, with a showing of the video we have created from these findings.
For an organization like Tulsa, we believe that the findings collected by youth are one of the most valuable resources in better improving interactions with children. The research conducted by us and other similar groups allows an honest insight on what we, as the future, think needs to be improved in our day-to-day lives. When the youth create questionnaires and influence booklets and leaflets, they automatically become easier for young people to understand. They are created by the youth, for the youth. We ourselves also benefit from this youth research, gaining experience, life skills, and the added benefit of knowing that we are having a positive impact on organizations. My personal experience on the committee this year was in managing the online survey and responses. It was a great opportunity for me to discover just how useful the online office tools can be and to have such a large role in the project. I found the experience challenging but enjoyable and rewarding, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity to impact both myself and others. Although we will shortly touch on the backstory of this research, after completing our research and collecting our findings, we created a video to display this research with the help of video maker Neve Heary. The video that you're about to see is based on our research on how young people feel while using social media, along with our recommendations from the research. We hope that you enjoy it.
The Children and Young Persons Advisory Group are a group of young people from throughout County Mayo. After receiving training as part of the UNESCO Child and Family Research Centre Youth as Researchers program, they decided to do a piece of research on social media use by teenagers. The group wanted to explore young people's use of social media, how much influence it has on their day-to-day lives, and whether young people feel pressure to use social media and the emotional impact it has on young people. Researchers put together an online survey which was then completed by students from secondary schools across Mayo. Here are the findings of the Mayo youth researchers.
to communicate. Rather than restricting it, they should allow their child to use it responsibly.
We recommend that we have workshops in school to try and teach young people to use social media responsibly.
Schools should set up parent evenings to give a more positive but balanced view on their child's social media usage and how to best manage it.
The video you just saw, which we were all able to participate and help create, was filmed over a one-day period with the effort of all the members on our committee. Each of our members were able to act in or help film and direct the video, which was a great experience overall, and our members gained new filmmaking skills. To begin our research, we brainstormed and threw around a few ideas around our initial meetings and narrowed the broad topic down to social media. From our own experiences, the group agreed that the topic of social media use in teens was far too exhausted. It is also usually done by people looking to show primarily the negatives of social media to parents, and never directly asking the teens themselves how social media actually makes them feel. We knew from the very start this question of how teens really feel about social media was going to have to be one of the pivotal questions in our research, and we began to build our survey around that. We also decided to add in the upfront question of, do you think that social media is a cause of anxiety for the majority of teenagers, to answer another main ask in our research. Before completing the survey, we looked at other research done before to better gauge what information had already been done around social media and teens' opinions on it. After this, we found that there were questions framed with a negative connotation, and these questions tended to receive more negatively biased answers. This therefore added to the overall pessimistic view already held about social media.
We knew that in order to get a substantial number of responses from our research survey, we would have to use a medium distribution that would allow us to have a large reach while also providing ease of access. We chose Google Forms, an online survey creating service, which happened to tie in neatly with the social media topic that we were researching. We targeted secondary school students of 12 to 18 years of age in Mayo with this survey. We asked all of our committee members to share the survey on social media and to encourage friends and family to complete it. We also used secondary schools and organizations from all over Mayo to share our survey, and we managed to generate about 500 responses. Overall, the majority of teens stated that they feel happy when using social media. This contrasts the overwhelming negativity surrounding social media, and so we felt the statistics stood out to us as one of the most surprising. Of course, not all teenagers feel happy on social media all of the time. As one teenager explained in our survey, teenagers feel predominantly happy. However, missing out on events and being left out of groups can cause anxiety.
Another one of our findings was that a vast majority of teenagers feel pressured by their friends to use social media, but also say that they feel comfortable while using social media. This finding shows that although people feel pressured to start communicating on and using social media, this pressure does not lead them into using something that makes them uncomfortable, and we concluded that social media as a whole isn't always the issue.
An interesting finding was that a majority of the older age group of 15 to 18-year-olds use social media at night, versus 12 to 14-year-olds who use social media in the afternoon much more often. This may be due to teenagers' workload increasing significantly as they get older, and them having less time to use social media during the day.
We also discovered that females felt more pressured to use social media, were more anxious when using social media, and felt that social media caused anxiety in teenagers, in substantially higher amounts than males. There may be various factors at play in why this is the case, perhaps the fact that females on average use social media more than males. But whatever the case, we found this to be an interesting statistic.
Also from our survey, from the many well-worded and insightful comments that we had, one we were interested in stated that social media is amazing. I probably wouldn't be alive if I didn't have social media. I'm so rural that I have no one to help me when my emotions get overwhelming or when I'm having panic attacks. I also probably wouldn't be as connected to my friends as I currently am. The media also has a lot of representation for a lot of communities, and it's helpful. This comment clearly highlights that some of the positive effects that social media can have on teenagers. Thus, it encompasses the core finding and recommendation of our research that there needs to be less negativity around social media.
Finally, we would like to leave you with another one of these insightful thoughts from one of our respondents. Social media is a tool. Like any other tool in life, it can be used for both good and bad things. You use it to learn piano, wonderful. But if it eats your time and damages your self-esteem, then that's not good. It requires self-awareness of one's own limits and a constant appraisal of the merits and demerits of your current social media use, and willpower, I suppose, to change that. I personally believe that healthy social media use should be emphasized as opposed to demonizing its entire existence. This comment not only shows that teenagers are not lazy as people believe them to be, but it highlights the pros while also taking into consideration some of the cons of social media. As a result, it wonderfully displays the main aim of our research.
We hope that this research will help to change the views on social media use and that information of the correct use of social media will be more widely available.
We'd just like to give a few thank yous to NUIG, Pat Dolan, and the filmmaker Niamh Heary, and all the young people who took part and responded to our survey. There's also a short handout right on the wall there with a short summary of our research, not the completed report, but thank you.